I can't.
Pay for it.
I can't.
I guarantee it.
Calm down. Calm down, brother.
Come to the fight. Come to the fight.
They probably gonna get you f***ed up.
Because Lamont Roach can fight, and he thinks he's going to see the better Gervonta Davis, come out this time. I certainly hope we do.
Gervon Davis has made a bold declaration ahead of the highly anticipated rematch with Lamont Roach. He claims he will dominate Roach this time and has confidently shut down any talk of an upset. Davis has even gone as far as staking a $5 million bet on knocking Roach out, fully backing his skill set and dismissing public belief that Roach has a real chance in the second fight.
Beat his ass.
You can't do shit.
For real. Man, be quiet.
I don't give a y'all was
all that
quiet. Y'all, if
and
y'all
all
was
that.
loud,
They got the
what
whole
the fuck
hood
you
over
talking
there,
about?
Like, twist it up. I don't give a
Y'all
about none
can
of that.
do whatever
I don't
y'all
care about
want.
none
My
of that.
mother, he
I don't
can't
care
stop
about no
nothing
hood,
over here.
none of that.
Not at all.
I'm telling you, I'm going to f him up.
Not at all. Never. Nothing's
Y'all
gonna get
under
f***ed
y'all
over here.
face up.
What do I look like getting f***ed up?
Okay.
That shit ain't never gonna stop nothing over here.
And he gonna pay for it. I guarantee
can't.
he pay for it.
I can't.
I guarantee it.
Calm down. Calm down, brother.
Come to the fight. Come to the fight.
They probably gonna get you f***ed up. Look, fool. Hey, fool. This me and you, fool. This me and you, fool.
Tank.
This me and you, fool. Don't worry about them. They might get you. They gonna trick you out your spot. They gonna trick you out your spot, fool. Don't worry about them.
Come on, stop. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know how I'm coming. Y'all know how I'm coming. So stop it. Y'all gonna make it hard for him. That's what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna make it hard for him.
The excitement surrounding this rematch brings back memories of Floyd Mayweather's first encounter with Marcos Maidana. Maidana controlled large portions of their initial bout, prompting many to predict a repeat victory in the rematch. However, Mayweather adjusted his strategy and outclassed Maidana with ease the second time a similar scenario could unfold between Davis and Roach. While Roach appeared superior in their first meeting, and public sentiment now leans in his favor, Davis is a known master of adaptation. He now has a chance to correct past mistakes and flip the narrative.
YouTube, we're back again with some more boxing news in the boxing world. Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach for the rematch is on the horizon. It will be happening this year, and it will be happening very, very soon. This is the thing, YouTube. If y'all agree with me on what I'm about to tell y'all, I want y'all to throw the thumbs up, because this is what's gonna happen. If y'all remember the Mayweather and Maidana match, where everybody thought Maidana beat Mayweather in the first match when they fought each other, like he dominated him, he beat him. Same thing goes here. Lamont Roach, everybody's saying that he dominated Gervonta Davis, but this is not going to happen in the rematch. Gervonta Davis is going to dominate Lamont Roach. If y'all agree with me on what I'm telling y'all, this is just like the Mayweather-Maidana fight. I'm trying to tell you. Lamont Roach is going to lose in the rematch, and that's a guarantee. That's not a prediction. That is a spoiler. If y'all agree with me, throw a thumbs up. And if you ain't got Eat Up Keeps the News, subscribe.
Following the controversial result of their first fight, Davis made decisive changes to his training camp. He brought in a new coach to refine his techniques and instill fresh discipline. This move was both strategic and personal, a way to eliminate distractions and focus completely. His goal is to erase every mistake that gave Roach momentum. The introduction of new training methods reflects Davis's commitment to redemption, not just participation. He is training with intensity and preparing for every possible outcome in the ring.
Yo, what's going on, fight fans? Check it out. It looks like Gervonta Davis has a new coach. And this is Coach Mustafa. He's a well-known coach down in the Atlanta area. And it looks like he's starting to train with him. I know he has that upcoming rematch coming up. It looks like it's slated for June. Now, this coach is known for his working on timing, precision, accuracy. Those are some of the things that this coach is well known for. He's also been training Tevin Farmer for his past 2 fights. Now, what does this mean for Tank? Is he leaving Coach Kyle and Coach Kenny, or adding Coach Mustafa to the team? Is it smart to switch trainers so close to a fight? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below.
This is far more than just another bout. It's arguably the most discussed rematch of the year. Lamont Roach has been the only fighter in recent memory to truly test Davis. Their previous clash left fans with lingering questions. Was Roach simply lucky, or is he genuinely the better fighter? This rematch promises clarity. Fans want to know whether Roach can replicate or even improve upon his performance here, if Davis will reclaim control and reassert his dominance. With reputations, legacies, And pride on the line, both fighters understand the gravity of the moment.
Promoter Gary Jonas shed some light on the negotiations for the rematch. While he didn't give too many details, Jonas did say that the second bout between Davis and Roach Jr. is all but finalized. Let's hear what he got to say right now.
Important question on everyone's mind: how close is the rematch? How big will it be? How close is it to getting done?
Very close. It's in my mind, it's a done deal, but there are formalities, but it's a done deal, and it's not far off.
Lamont Roach continues to lead with humility, faith, and unwavering determination. His calm and composed demeanor stands in stark contrast to the typical pre-fight bravado. Roach doesn't rely on flash, allows his work ethic to do the talking. He trains with purpose, trusts his preparation, and believes his path is guided by something greater. Even as the spotlight intensifies, his mentality remains grounded. This mental resilience has allowed him to overcome countless challenges and reach this elite-level. Roach is fully prepared, physically, spiritually, and emotionally.
Who am I here with today?
Lamont Roach Jr.
I don't know who you are, man. What do you do for a living?
And I box.
How long you been boxing for?
I've been boxing since I was 9 years old, so 20 years.
How old were you when you made your first million?
I was 29.
You made some money. What's the best piece of advice about money you've received throughout your career?
Save that money gonna save you.
Has there ever been one experience where you spent too much money than you thought you should have, that you regret?
That I regret? No, but there's been a lot of times where I shouldn't have spent as much money as I did.
Is there one piece of advice that now that you've been boxing for a couple years, you could tell your younger self about boxing?
My advice to my younger self would be keep going. You're gonna end up exactly where you're supposed to be at. As long as you work hard, put your faith in God, and you just keep pushing.
What made you really stand out as a boxer?
My hard work, determination to be the best.
Is there one boxer that you think inspires you the most with your play style?
I take bits and pieces from all boxers, even some of my opponents and stuff like that.
Anyone specifically?
No, not necessarily.
What keeps you motivated to keep pushing hard still?
It's definitely hard for me to give up because I know what's at stake. I know what can happen. I know what can happen with hard work. But if I ever feel like giving up, my motivation would be my son, my family, the ones who behind me 100%. They've been down at the bottom with me, so they coming up top with me.
Where can they find you on social media, man?
1of1X.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you, bro.
While verbal jabs have intensified, they ultimately mean nothing once the bell rings. The rematch is where truths will be revealed and legacies defined online. Arguments and heated interviews will fade once the punches start landing. This fight will deliver the final verdict. Fans, analysts, and both camps can speculate endlessly, but nothing holds more weight than what happens in the ring. By the final bell, the better man will be undeniable for all to see.
I want to know, when is the rematch going to happen at this point? Because I'm not going to lie, for it to be a whole month later and y'all still arguing over who actually won, it's just really like, okay, yeah, run it back, because we got to go ahead and settle this, squabble this up. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say neither fighter in here is shitty, okay? Because after the fight I seen on March 1st, yeah, they both was tagging shit, both getting up with each other, okay? I feel like this is the perfect match. If anybody's gonna do a rematch, you need to be down, period. And Gervonta was stinging him. I'm not gonna lie, he was stinging him. Great fight for him. But I'm not gonna lie, he came out knowing what he was trying to do. Y'all have to give it to him. Like, y'all just be hating, okay? Y'all can't get in the ring and fucking fight. Y'all just be hating. At least I'm giving them no day props, okay? Because Gervonta had a great fight. Don't get me wrong. My money was on him. But I think what messed him up was the fact that when he came out, y'all know he usually be 2 steps ahead. He was 3 steps ahead. I feel like he already had Tank figured out. And he definitely was not expecting that. And him, on the other hand, I think he came in really having something to prove. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, it was a really good fight, and I feel like this is how I see it. In the beginning of the fight, he was stinking, back to back, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the fight, that's when he finally kicked it up. But I seen consistency through him through the whole fight. Not gonna lie, like, so I just feel like the rematch should happen because never know. He might, now that he was 3 steps ahead, become 8 steps ahead, and he might really knock his butt down. But at the end of the day, it's like, we need this rematch because I don't think this is ever gonna be a dispute that is settled and, you know, officially he won, he lost until they fight. Like, we gotta see it.
Gervonta Davis is stepping into the ring with a point to prove after facing waves of doubt and criticism. Questions about his focus, drive, and sharpness have only fueled his determination. He is pushing himself relentlessly in training, aiming not only for victory but to completely silence his detractors. Davis understands that critics thrive on perceived weakness, so he's working to close every gap Roach previously exploited. His training camp is focused, technical, and driven. Davis doesn't just want to win. He wants to make a statement.
Everybody really think Tank go take the L. I've been seeing it. They said it's over. They think that this time Lamont go in more confident, knowing that basically he can, you know, really take it to Tank. Yeah, I want him to go in there confident. He's very skilled. Go in there confident because you gonna go up against a different Tank. Like I told y'all in previous videos, he go in there confident, thinking he could walk Tank down. Don't forget, with Tank, if he get you on that button, them lights going off, I don't care who you is. Remember how it ended up with Frank Martin? So yeah, don't go in there thinking that you going against like somebody that, like Ryan Garcia, somebody that's go fold. You going against Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that confidence is what's going to get Lamont dropped. Because one thing I will say, with Tank, that wasn't your best fight against Lamont, bro. I feel like you was in your head too much, you was overconfident, and you was really just, your mind was in y'all story, the lore and everything with y'all history. You ain't going there like, I'm fighting a stranger. You going there like, oh, this Lamont, this from the same camp, we from the same area. But now I think that whole situation woke him up, because you got to think, Tank not used to losing. He not used to people being against him. He not used to being the one that like got to step back from a situation. That's why I think he being hushed right now, because when he come this time, it ain't no talking. And that's why I think it's scary, because we never see Tank in that mode where he don't say a word. I think this gonna be a different Tank. And what's crazy is Tank used to be like that in the beginning, like when he was with Floyd. Like, I'm talking about Tank with the fade, with the waves, bro. He ain't used to be on that showboat and stuff until he got, like, you know, a little bit more in the boxing, you know, thing. Of course, once you with Floyd, you gonna start being flashy and doing backflips off the ring. But in his beginning stages, dude wasn't playing. He was dropping I think that's what he about to go to, bro. And we know that people like, man, did he take Calvin off his team? Nah, like he said, Calvin, his boy. I think he just rocking with somebody else right now to get him some sharper skills, you know, to change up his skill and what people know him by. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I think Tank go take it to Lamont. And that's not me being biased. I think we ain't never seen Tank.
On the other hand, Roach has displayed unwavering discipline and focus throughout the build-up to this rematch. He recognizes the magnitude of the moment and fully respects the danger. Davis still poses unlike others who may grow overconfident from one strong performance. Roach is treating this as an entirely new battle. He's sharp, alert, and carefully studying Davis's improvements. He is adjusting his approach and preparing for every possible scenario. This mindset reflects a fighter not only skilled but mentally elite. Keshin Davis offered a compelling observation, questioning whether passion for boxing may be fading. In contrast, Roach appears more inspired than ever. That possible imbalance in emotional investment could tip the scales. If Gervonta's hunger has diminished, Roach may gain a psychological edge with one fighter, potentially peaking and the other plateauing. The rematch is layered with tension and unpredictability.
Do you think he wins that rematch with Lamont Roach?
I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. It's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I don't know, honestly. I really don't know.
Does a lot of it hinge on Gervonta and like which version he shows up with? And no disrespect to Roach, but you know what I mean.
No, that is disrespectful to Roach, and like y'all fight fans gotta realize that is disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, he in there fighting another grown man that ain't going for none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think Roach is gonna come with another game plan or something better or this, that, and third? So when they had a rematch, are y'all still gonna say, oh, Take's still not his full self ever since he fought whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like, Roach is a hell of a fighter. He proved he was a hell of a fighter, so he need to get that credit. He's a hell of a fighter. I don't know who's gonna win that rematch. I honestly feel like Tank is losing love for the sport, or he lost the love for the sport and he's no longer hungry anymore.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
Yet you got a guy that's just super hungry and never had no attention, now getting all his attention, and now he get around two of his attention. Is like, shit, that's kind of hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Tank is he's still a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's 50-50. And to your point, we were saying, okay, he lost love of the sport. I don't really think Canelo got the same love he had for the sport when he was coming.
Davis has enlisted the expertise of Kenny Ellis, a well-respected figure in the training world, to fine-tune every aspect of his game. Ellis is known for his strict routines, meticulous attention to detail, and mental conditioning. Under Ellis' guidance, Davis is correcting technical flaws, building stamina, and sharpening his ring IQ. This partnership is not merely physical, it's mental as well. The chemistry between Davis and Ellis may prove pivotal. This new version of Davis is more balanced, more disciplined, and ultimately more dangerous.
One of the best trainers in boxing, second guy in the corner. is responsible for a lot of the real tactical decisions and tactical analysis that goes on in Gervonta Davis's corner. So you have Coach Calvin, and Coach Calvin is the head trainer, and you have Coach Kenny, who really specializes on preparing game plans specifically for opponents. So to have him talk about what's going on with Lamont Roach, I thought was interesting and insightful, because what he said was that, one, he's not falling for the okie doke. When Mill City asked him, hey, what do you think about the fact that, that Lamont Roach was seen at a basketball game chugging a beer? And I would have added to the question that you see Lamont Roach out giving a bunch of interviews, doing the interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table. And he says that Lamont Roach is, we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. He says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before. A lot of really crisp shots land.
The first fight exposed surprising weaknesses in Davis's performance. He appeared sluggish, his reactions were delayed, and his stamina deteriorated quickly. Roach capitalized on those vulnerabilities and controlled the pace. That version of Davis seemed unprepared both physically and mentally. Now the rematch provides him with a crucial opportunity to change that narrative. It's a chance to demonstrate that his previous showing was merely an off-night, not a reflection of decline. Redemption is within reach, but only if he has truly addressed and corrected those issues. Davis began the last fight, impressively ending crisp combinations and showcasing good movement. His power and timing were evident, but his performance waned as the rounds progressed. Analysts like Ennis believe those early moments prove Davis still has elite ability, simply needs to sustain it. If he can maintain that intensity throughout, Roach will be facing an entirely different kind of challenge.
Draw with Lamont Roach. People looking at it as controversial because of the whole knee. What'd you think of the fight?
It was a great fight. I had it 7-5 Tank, or you can make it a draw. But I feel like Lamont, he did good. He did a great job, actually. I just don't think he did enough to pull it off. And I feel like people was overlooking what Tank was doing in the first 5-6 rounds. He was boxing and frustrating him a little bit. But Lamont, like I said before, Lamont did a great job.
Yeah, some people had it Tank, some people had it draw, some people had it Lamont. Do you think Tank gets a lot of criticism for not knocking Lamont out and Lamont not being a big name, so they overblow it?
I think so, yeah, and I feel like people just don't like Tank to a point where any little thing, just because he ain't knock him out, he probably feel as though that he lost, and he didn't, or it was a draw. I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning, moving a little bit too much, but I feel like he was still frustrating and things like that. And I think Tank did a good job. He looked sharp to me. I don't know. People just be talking. At the end of the day, you can't please everybody.
Were you surprised that Lamont was in spots winning the exchanges and kind of caught Tank with some good shots that he visibly I got to reset?
Yeah.
Veteran trainer Teddy Atlas has emphasized that Davis's greatest weapon isn't just his power ats. His mind. Davis doesn't rush, observes, calculates, and then executes. He possesses the ability to adjust his approach as the fight evolves, making him unpredictable and dangerous. If Davis fully taps into that mental flexibility, Roach may struggle to keep pace, according to Atlas. This adaptive mindset could very well be the decisive factor that shifts the rematch in Davis's favor.
Get to us, but we're going to frustrate him. He doesn't get frustrated. He takes his time. He's deliberate. A lot of times at the beginning, people thought he was just a seek and destroy missile. They thought he was just a guy that got to you. And they thought that he would get over anxious. He don't get over anxious. He takes his time. He slowly closes those gaps, inch by inch, step by step. And then he gets to you.